All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er Buccaneer preview as we look ahead to the 49ers game against the Bucs. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. This video also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. Call my friend Anthony Catania. He's at 831-521-5264. And this video is also brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World. Mancini is a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. They offer a 120-night guarantee with a range of brands and price points. With Mancini's, you get free next-day delivery. I am loving my Mancini's bed. All you got to do to get one is click on the link below or go to sleepworld.com. Find a bed that works for you. Whether you shop online or visiting in-store, all you got to remember is use that code KRUEG10, K-R-U-E-G 10, and you'll get 10% off. Once again, K-R-U-E-G 10, KRUEG10. You'll get 10% off in-store or online at sleepworld.com. All right, let's talk about the Niners and the Bucs. Niners on the road, very eerily similar to a year ago when they played the Jaguars after the bye in Chase Young's first game. So the Niners are now coming off the bye, needing a win on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're getting Christian McCaffrey back. So ultimately, that's huge. That is absolutely huge for the 49ers. Now, the Buccaneers on defense are a mess. They're not a good defensive team. They have Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey inside, but they don't get any outside pass rush. They don't put a lot of heat on the quarterback. They got some injuries in the secondary. They do have the great Antoine Winfield back there, but the 49ers, I think, can make plays via the pass, and I think they can also run in this game. You look at this Buccaneers defense, and what stands out is that you know a lot of those names, right? Levante David, I mentioned Antoine Winfield, Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey. I mean, there's some good players on this defense. And Todd Bowles has a blitz-heavy scheme. He'll blitz DBs. He'll blitz linebackers. He'll come with exotics. He brings a lot of blitzes. Now, Shanahan has had the upper hand against Bowles. So for whatever reason, the Bowles blitz package doesn't seem to bother Kyle Shanahan that much. Shanahan's at the upper hand in almost all of these battles with Todd Bowles. But expect a lot of exotic blitzes. Expect a bunch of blitzes coming at Brock Purdy's direction. And I think the Niners can run it with McCaffrey. The number that really jumped out is that the Buccaneers have allowed 55 receptions to running backs. That's among the league leaders. And here comes McCaffrey and Mason and Guerrero, and they can all catch the ball out of the backfield. And I just think it could be a big day of Brock Purdy throwing to the running backs out of the backfield. 49ers, though, if they want to run the ball, I think they can also commit to the run and win this game. This Buccaneers defense is struggling against the run and the pass, and I don't see it as a elite defense. KJ Britt, number 52, is not. He's a good run defender, but he's not a good pass defender, and I would imagine Shanahan's going to make him the conflict defender and try to get him isolated in space against McCaffrey and see if you can burn him down the field. The interesting thing is no team in football loads the box as regularly as Todd Bowles does. They really load the box. They load the box 56% of the time. The interesting thing is they're giving up 4.8 a carry even when they do load the box. So they'll put extra defenders in the box to stop the run, and it's not helping them. The 49ers, by comparison, have a lot of success running against stacked boxes this year. The 49ers are facing stacked boxes the second highest percentage in football, and their yards per carry is second only to the Ravens against stacked boxes. I asked Kyle Shanahan about it, and he said, sometimes, when they put that extra defender in the box, if he's not positioned right, the angles can be screwed up. If you can get to that second level, maybe they're sending an extra defender at the quarterback, and maybe they're coming through the A gap, and you're running outside. Maybe they're coming off the right defensive end spot, and you're running towards the left defensive end spot. So, there is big playability sometimes when teams load the box. So that is something to watch. expect Tampa to load the box and try to take away the run, and expect the Niners to run even against loaded boxes and maybe have some success. The Niners have had success against loaded boxes this year. All right, let's flip the card and talk about the other side of the ball. The Buccaneer offense going against this 49er defense. Now, the Niner defense has got to show up. It's as simple as that. Greenlaw's coming back, but it's not going to be this week. The 49ers are a team that is struggling to stop the run, and they just signed Khalil Davis. It'll be interesting to see if Davis gets some run in this game. But Mike Evans is out. Chris Godwin is out. They leaned last week heavily on Sterling Shepard. He didn't practice this week. He's got a hamstring pull. Now, I don't know if he practiced the week before, but that hamstring pull was predated the Kansas City game. So expect Sterling Shepard to play. He's a very good receiver as far as terrific ball skills, great hands. He'll catch it in a crowd. He's a good route runner. He's very sure-handed. Any ball that touches Sterling Shepard's hands is going to be caught. So you have to hug up on him, and he can't run by you. He cannot run. So you have to hug up on Sterling Shepard and take him away. That's going to be a big key in this thing. Other than that, what are you looking at? Trey Palmer is fast, but not a great route runner. Raheem Jarrett, he's young. Ryan Miller, they just don't have a lot at wide receiver. The guy they're going to look to in this game is going to be Cade Otton. Baker Mayfield, who is battling a toe injury and didn't practice this week, will look for Cade Otton. They're going to utilize Cade Otton, their tight end, in the slot. The Niners have struggled against the slot receiver, giving up almost 85 yards a game against the slot receivers. The Niners have defended opposing tight ends well, but not the slot receiver. And since Evans and Godwin went down, the one wrinkle that Tampa has consistently gone with is they're putting Cade Otton in the slot, and they're asking him to be their slot receiver. So he's a guy that has to be probably doubled, or at least, you got to tilt your coverage towards Otton in the red zone because they don't have a lot of weapons, and they're going to him. Now, they do have a three-headed running back monster with Rachaad White being the receiver. Bucky Irving is probably the most difficult guy to bring down, and Sean Tucker's a real solid back. So they have three backs. The interesting thing is after Evans and Godwin went down, you would think the Bucs would have leaned on their run game more, but actually they've thrown the ball more in the last couple games, even though they haven't had Evans and they haven't had Godwin. So I'm not sure what to expect exactly in this game as far as run pass. I know they're going to feature Otton. I know they're going to look for Sterling Shepard. I know they don't have a receiver outside of Trey Palmer that can run by you. Bucky Irving is going to be a real challenge for the 49ers to stop, both on special teams and as a runner or as a receiver out of the backfield. He's elusive. He keeps his legs churning. He's got great contact balance. He's a tough guy to bring down. So to me, if there's one guy to feature on in this game tomorrow defensively, it's Bucky Irving. You got to take away Bucky Irving if you can. The other thing that's kind of interesting is this is a pretty good offensive line. Tristan Wirfs, blue chipper, one of the best tackles in football. He's a left tackle. Luke Gadecki, he's a big brawler, run blocker, really strong in the run game. They've got Cody Mauch from North Dakota State at right guard. They've got Bren Bretterson from Michigan at left guard. And it's a good offensive line. It really is. Graham Barton, the Duke rookie, is their starting center. Guy the 49ers, I think, had some interest in the draft. So I'm not sure, the 49ers are going to have to put some heat on the quarterback. The one question about this game is Nick Bosa has a hip pointer and was very limited towards the end of the week. And I don't know how much Nick Bosa is going to be able to play. The Niners, by the way, also the other question is how much is Malik Mustafa with a calf injury going to be able to play? The Niners on Saturday elevated Tayshaun Gibson from the practice squad to the active roster. They also elevated Christian McCaffrey from the injured reserve to the active roster. So McCaffrey's going to go, and there's no question about that. The other note that I've got to mention is the 49ers cut Patrick Taylor. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Patrick Taylor, who has not gotten a lot of run, was waived by the team on Saturday as well. So Patrick Taylor is no longer on the roster. McCaffrey is active and will play, and Tayshaun Gibson is active. I don't know if that means that Malik Mustafa can't go, or if it's a precautionary thing and they feel like Mustafa can go, but they want an extra DB. But there was some reference to if Mustafa can't go, you may see Tayshaun Gibson activated. And sure enough, Tayshaun Gibson has been activated. Another key activation for the 49ers is Jake Moody. Jake Moody, I talked to him in the locker room on Friday. He's ready to roll. He's back from the ankle injury. It's not on his plant leg, it's on his kicking leg. I said, when do you feel any pain? He says, sometimes you feel a little bit of pain upon contact with the ball, but it's very little and it's manageable and it's nothing that really bothers him. He said it's much preferred that he sprained his kicking foot as opposed to his plant foot. If he had sprained his left ankle, he said he probably would have taken him longer because of the force that he leans on that left ankle with. It's a huge thing to have Moody back. Why? Well, obviously he's their best kicker. Though, credit Matthew Wright and Anders Carlson. They did not miss a single field goal. Carlson went 5 for 5. Wright went 3 for 3. So they went 8 for 8 on field goals. But what they aren't is they aren't Jake Moody as far as leg strength. And they can't kick the ball through the back of the end zone. And it's actually a huge deal because every other team in pro football is kicking the ball through the back of the end zone. So now you have a new play. Your coverage units have barely practiced. And you don't have a kicker that can kick it through the back of the end zone and just have a touchback. The Niners have Jake back, and he will kick the ball through the back of the end zone, and that's going to help them. Why? Well, Bucky Irving last week against the Chiefs had a 46-yard kickoff return. So he's a major kickoff return threat, and to have Moody back essentially eliminates that threat because now Moody will kick it through the back of the end zone. They'll bring the ball out to whatever it is, the 35-yard line, and that will be it. There won't be that big chance of a gigantic return, which the 49ers have seen far too often already this year. All right, that does it for our update. I'm going to say the 49ers win this thing. I'm going to say the 49ers win this thing going away. They went to Jacksonville last year. They took apart the Jaguars. The big factor in this game is the rest factor. 49ers have had coming off the bye week. The Bucs played on Monday night. Not only did the Bucs play on Monday night, and so this is a short week, their defense logged 83 plays in an overtime game against Kansas City. Their defense logged over 40 minutes on the field. The Niners are going to be fresher, faster. I think they'll be able to do whatever they want offensively against this Tampa defense, both in run and pass. I think the 49ers will battle them to an evenly as far as on special teams. And then offensively, as I said, I think the 49ers can run or pass. And then defensively, it's going to really be about hug up on Sterling Shepard. Don't give Baker Mayfield those easy completions to Shepard. Take away their run game. Feature key on Cade Otton in the out of the slot in the red zone. And I think the 49ers win this game going away. I like the 49ers big. A lot of games I'm nervous about. This one I'm not nervous about. 31-13 49ers. I think the Niners go to Tampa, get right, get a big convincing win, and roll into the second half of their schedule with a little bit more momentum on the tail end of this big win. 31-13 49ers. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Mancini's for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.